Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Does it seem like a reasonable? So do you see why I went with that more so than the spelling? So what I want to do today for your practice is we're going to practice two parts. We're going to first practice how you would coach scholars to pay attention to the punctuation. So we have, if you look, I know you have a copy of this. And again, like I said, I pulled this out because I often like refer to this. So it's step 8. They're in the prompting guide. It says like they need to pay attention to punctuation. Mm-hmm. So you've done a lot of work with 3 to 4 word phrases, but also now paying attention to the punctuation. And they have prompts here, which are read with expression and look for the punctuation. I think we can think of like some actually better prompts that I actually thought of to help scholars. I think I've heard you do some of this. So I want us to think about if you're first prompting and coaching scholars to pay attention to punctuation, I want you to script what you think they should do when they come to a period. What would you tell them to set them up for success? What would you tell them when they come to a comma, a question mark, and an exclamation point? What would you want their voice to sound like? What would you want them to do? And then you could script what you would say for that, and then we'll practice like how you set them up for success. Oh, you did. I think we're like really minding. So you tell you already had started on the poster.
So just a period, question mark, which other ones?
A comma.
Comma.
And an exclamation point.
I just need to follow call for Jahari. He needs 5 days. Not only did he run again after I sent him in there, he bit Mr. White and then kept trying to bite him to the point I had to restrain him.
You can do that. Just like that. Right. So what do you have for, what would you coach them on when they come to a period?
Usually I tell them to use their regular voice and to stop.
Okay.
For a comma, it's a quick pause, a slight pause. A question mark, the voice goes high. And then for an exclamation point, you're full of surprise and you widen your eyes.
Oh, I like that one.
I
like that last one. I just said sound. I put in my notes like you sound excited, so I like that. So, what I like for you to do is like to coach me as if you're getting ready to help me to pay attention to these things when I'm reading today, and then we'll practice. I'll be a scholar, and I'll pretend to read without those expressions, and you'll prompt me to do it.
All right, scholars. Last unit, we focused a lot on scooping. We focused a lot on
Scooping.
Yes, but not only scooping is going to help us with our rate, but paying attention to punctuation marks. So in this unit, we're going to pay close attention to punctuation marks. We're going to pay close attention to
Punctuation marks.
Yes, track the posters. When you see a period, you're going to stop. You're going to stop. Yes, you're going to stop. You're going to use your regular voice. When you see a period, you're going to use your
Regular voice.
Use your regular voice. When you come to a question mark, your voice is going to go high. Your voice is going to go high. Yep, like this. Are you going to the bathroom? See, when I got to the end towards bathroom, my voice went high. So when you see a question mark, your voice is going to go high. Your voice is going to go high. Yep. When you see a comma, it's going to be a quick pause. A comma is a quick pause. Yep, you're going to have a quick pause to see what the next word is going to be. Then there's an exclamation point. Say exclamation point.
Exclamation point.
When you see an exclamation point, you're going to be full of surprise. Your eyes should get big. Your eyes should get big. Like, oh my God. Can we do that? Ready, set, go.
Oh my God.
Good job, Tang. I saw that you have a smile on your face. You were full of surprise and your eyes got big. So, Scholars, you ready to practice?
I am. We are.
Okay.
So I think that was good that you had them track the poster. I also think it's good that you gave them examples of each. One thing that I would add to your anchor chart when you make it is I would actually write a sentence and read the sentence that way. So, I have a sentence that shows excitement. Watch me while I read it. Like you said, that their eyes go wide and their voice sounds full of surprise. I would have a sentence up where I can read it, and they can even call and respond to that sentence.
You can't bite people. I'm not gonna allow nobody to bite you, so I'm not gonna allow you to bite nobody. That's wrong. So yeah, I will make sure that he has a letter when he comes home. I'm gonna put this phone on the phone.
And now what I want to do is I'm going to look at, I'm going to read, and then I'm going to read without expression or paying attention to some type of punctuation mark. And you're going to coach me to do that. So when you're coaching me, I want you to make sure you stop me at the point of error, and that you also model how you would want me to read that sentence and have me read it again.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll give you a call when they're on their way to you. Thank you.
I'll read this.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this letter together. Miss Mary, you can just let me know.
She walked ahead of everyone else singing out.
Can we stop right there? I liked how you started off using your regular voice, but I noticed that there's a comma and you just went right through it. Remember, our poster said that a comma means to pause. A comma means to
pause.
Yep, listen to me. She walked ahead of everyone else, singing loudly. I took a very slight pause. Can you try that?
Yes, she walked ahead of everyone else, singing loudly.
Good job. Now, when you see another comma, it's having you to have a slight pause so you can see what's coming next. Do you see what other punctuation marks is coming next?
Exclamation point.
So what do you do when you see an exclamation point?
My voice goes up and is full of surprise, and I open my eyes wide.
So let's try again. She walked. Go.
She walked ahead of everyone else, singing loudly. Sorry. I'm going to start over. She walked ahead of everyone else, singing loudly. I'm the boss. Follow me.
Good job, Tandy. I really liked how you saw what was coming next and that your voice got louder. You were full of surprise.
Great. So I think that was a very good stopping point. And I also like the fact that you previewed where I might make another error, because you knew that I might not pay attention to the exclamation point, and that this comma meant that I need to pause. And since I saw quotation marks, I probably need to look ahead. So I think that was great. So just again, for the next your next lesson, as you're coaching students on how to read at an increased rate, we want to pay attention to the punctuation marks. So you'll use your anchor chart. You'll make sure that you have example sentences and model how you want them to read. And then when they're actually reading aloud, make sure you pick a section where they would have to show some kind of expression where you can coach them on. Because I know a lot of times they'll be reading some of it silently. So you would want to preview a section first that you would want them to read. And then make sure that you prompt them, even in their silent reading, can you read this for me? And have them read a part where you know that you want to make sure that they're paying attention to the punctuation, even if they're reading silently. And the second part of our practice, I wanted to talk about paying attention to the dialogue and how we should read with feeling when we see certain things. So I particularly wrote down words like demanded, I saw commanded in here, or demanded, commanded, angrily, and being excited, because those are things that we often see in the step books. So right now, I want you to think about how would you coach scholars to pay attention to those keywords. I think we were off to a great start because you stop me at this at the comma before the dialogue started. But how would you be able to help them understand to read these parts of the book with expression? Because I feel like this is a little bit more challenging because, for example, like it says here, like commanded is like after it. Well, let's see. You stand here while I go to the store. So you see, commanded comes after the dialogue, but this part is still like a command. So how would you help me to realize I need to do that? Would it be more of like stopping? You're anticipating the error, so you model it in advance, or would you stop me at the point of error? How would you coach me around that?
This one's tricky.
It is tricky, but you're so smart.
Oh, now he don't want to follow me. Come on.
Okay. Alright, scholars. When we see quotation marks, that means that characters are talking. Characters are
Talking.
Yep, characters talking. Instead of seeing the word said and asked, an author might use other words to let you know how a character is talking. How a character is
Talking.
For example, instead of saying said or asked, the author might use loudly or commanded or frightfully. So when you see those signal words, you should read and sound like the word you just read. For example, over here, this book says, Miss White loudly said, I'm so happy. I see that the word loudly is saying how she said, I'm so happy. So I'm going to read it loudly because Miss White was loud. Watch me. Miss White said loudly, I'm so happy. My voice went up high because I said it loud because the character said Miss White was loudly. Yeah, something like that.
She said it.
She said it loudly.
If you want to, I can walk up to the seclusion room.
So
and
let's
you can just take it
practice.
again.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So I think so. It was good when you said that when you see the quotation marks, it's going to tell you how a character said something or maybe how they feel, and you gave examples of how they feel. They may feel frightful. They may command. They may be angry. They may be loud. So I think it was good that you said like some of those signal words that they need to pay attention to. I also think it was good that you gave an example. I would clear up at the end where you're getting ready to have them pay attention to it in their book.
Okay.
So you would just say, scholars, today while you're reading, I want you to pay attention to those signal words.
Okay.
And when you see the signal words, you need to read it like the character may say it. And you can even prep them because I think this is going to be tricky for them to get the first time. You can even say, Miss Jackson may have to help you because at first, when you first start doing this, it's going to be tricky because sometimes you may see the signal word after the quote. Sometimes, and since you see the signal word after the quote, I may have to stop you and read it again so that you can read it just like the character is feeling. But over time, as you continue to practice, you'll get better because like really it's just something that they naturally will have to get better on over time. Okay. So they just should know that you're going to stop them and show them how to do it and have them read it again.
Okay.
And so now I'll practice doing our reading.